All right, here we go.
We got the audio.
Welcome to Dwarven Forge Live. This is On the Anvil, episode 72. This is the show that has no tech problems ever. Do I even have audio? I don't even know.
This went fairly smooth considering you haven't done this for 7 months-ish.
8 months, 7 months? I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, here we are. This is On the Anvil. This is the show we take you behind the scenes here at Dwarven Forge, or in this case, my basement. And we show you what we're working on, what we're thinking about, what we're talking about, what we're doing. Mostly, we hang out for 2 hours, enjoy a frosty beverage. Look at these lower thirds are all over the place, and talk all things terrain. But I am Nate, and I'm joined on this illustrious laptop here by Chris.
Please let me out. It's very cramped in here.
Oh, here.
What?
I let you out.
Oh, good. Now I'm in a slightly
bigger box.
It's a taller but narrower box.
Do you know? One time, the factory described Dwarven Forge as a turtle that had slowly outgrown its cage and was now rampaging around the city like Godzilla. Okay. It was some long analogy. I think I might have lost something in translation because it went from like Cantonese to Mandarin to Japanese to English. But it was basically said you are a turtle that has grown too large for your aquarium and now is destroying the city.
All right.
And
so
I don't remember what the bigger part of it was, but I remember that analogy. I was like, wow, that is dynamite. We are kaiju.
So we have them making our terrain. Why don't we have them writing for us?
I don't know. I mean, this material.
It's like really poetic.
It's rich. I bet it was even better in the original, but.
I wish I could dunk on people like that instead of just using pithy insults.
No, I think they were trying to say it in a nice way. Like, I mean, where's my camera? Hang on, I gotta turn this thing.
Well, everybody's saying that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
People saying I seem quiet.
Really? All right.
If we can turn me up, yeah. Well, it's the whole thing. You're blasting me through speak. It's not a flawless.
It's analog.
You know.
He's coming through the. Yeah, we could probably actually make it. No, we can't because I'm on a Mac. Anyway, what are we doing tonight, Chris? What are we? If someone's new here, what's going on? What is this?
So this is our first On the Anvil of 2022.
Happy New Year! Woo!
Hey, big thing is we want to go over just a bunch of news that we have, as well as talk about the plans that we have for this year. Figure out what questions you guys have. And then show off a cool little build that Nate ran over
holidays,
the holiday break.
Yeah, so that's it. We look at the year, and in the midway, there is a giveaway. We're giving away a kaiju rampaging over the city. No.
We're giving away a giant turtle.
Yes, it's outgrown its aquarium, and that needs a new home.
Yeah.
Or we could just give away like a $50 gift certificate. That might be safer. What do you think?
Can get a turtle for $50, right?
I don't know. I never really had a soft spot for turtles. I'm a cat person.
That's fair.
You just showed me up so hard on that. You're like,
what's up?
Well done with the props. There's some good physical comedy there.
Oh no, she just wouldn't leave me alone. As soon as she heard me talking, yeah. This is my first time, having to stream from home, and it's reminding me how anytime I'm streaming, she needs my attention the entire time.
Fair.
So that's good.
She's a cat. So the only other thing to remember is this is the purpose of the show is to hang out with you guys, to interact with you guys. So ask some questions, heckle us, start a hype train. Oh wait, too late. They already did.
Yeah. Thank you for the hype train. Oh.
Woo. So can you hear my kids going bonkers upstairs?
I do. I hear your kids like.
Can the internet?
Slamming each other.
Can the internet hear my kids? It's like Grayson's playing D&D right now, and he like jumps up and runs laps and gets pretty fired up. So I don't know. It was good times.
I can hear screaming, but I'm sure it's fine. Is this Merc?
Totally normal. Totally normal.
Yeah.
So all right. So this takes us. Should we do it? Look at this. I'm so excited.
We should. Oh yeah, you have it set up here.
I put
Wow,
the
I
Stream
can't
Deck.
believe you.
I put the Stream Deck on my Vorp alarm, so I can now. I feel like I'm in Star Trek or something, right? All
I
right,
can't believe you made that work. Yeah, that's a
going.
Star Trek thing.
It's, we're into the news. It's the news. Oh wait, I have to switch back. I was waiting for you to switch back, but it's me.
Yeah, sorry. So the
Luckily,
reason,
with my Star technology here, I can really make it happen. My wired USB on a phone arm, high tech. So yeah, what's in the news, Chris?
our first bit of news is I bet you're all wondering why we're streaming like this today.
Why are we streaming like this?
Nate doesn't want us to be able to use the soundboard anymore. Mace really laid into him. He said we're not allowed to have that. No, we are gonna be working from home for a bit because of Omicron kind of really tearing through New York City at the moment, and we're trying to keep everybody safe.
Well, we've already had a couple, right? 3 people in the office have had someone in either their partner or roommate or whatever catch COVID or cause COVID. Like it's ripping through New York, and we're just trying to minimize our just try not to travel, try to stay bunkered down and not catch it. So we'll be streaming from home for a bit. We'll be doing a lot from home. But I don't think it does it. Are the episodes are they different when we do it like this?
I think there's a difference to the energy. It's a lot harder to play off of each other remotely. You've got like the little bit of lag, and then also the whole it's a lot tougher when you talk over each other.
Yes. I have more fun heckling you when we're in person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It also means that you've got to run like all the tech stuff yourself.
So it's more flawless as opposed, when you're doing it for the battle station. It's we just have to wait for all these tech issues.
It's definitely a different energy.
You have to call Mace on your cell phone in the middle of the stream to try and figure out how to get the audio to work. It's like a whole thing.
But so we're hoping it won't be for very long. It's just gonna depend on the nature of the virus, the way that it's all looking. Okay, I need you to get off of my keyboard. Hang on.
See that also? We don't get that at in the studio?
Yep, don't get that. Yeah. You can't get that at home. Oh, well, no, it is at home. You can't get that at the office.
But we will be streaming back to our usual once a week, 7 p.m. Wednesdays for a good stretch here.
Yeah, and the hobby hang is going to continue the way it always has. So it won't affect the amount of streams too much. It might affect the kinds of things we're planning to do, depending on what happens. But it is what it is. We're taking it in stride. Compared to the last time we had to go work from home, I think this is a bit less stressful just because we've done it.
Says the guy who doesn't have to manage remote learning with his kids.
That's fair. Should have thought about that before he had kids. Should have thought about the pandemic.
I didn't think about a lot of things. It was
So that's basically it. Just in case anybody's wondering.
All right, what else is in the news, Chris?
What else is in the news? Y'all are wondering.
Y'all.
Y'all.
You've been hanging out with Andrew too long.
Yeah, that's what I did over the holidays.
Have you ever used y'all before? Is this a first on the Anvil?
I grew up partially in Utah.
Is Utah a y'all state?
It can be.
All right.
All right.
I use y'all state for my insurance.
y'all state.
Anyway, what are we telling y'all?
I completely forgot. So you guys are wondering the Reliquary's pledge manager date.
When is it gonna launch?
What's that?
When's it gonna launch?
Oh, currently we're aiming at the week of the 10th, which is next week.
Spoiler alert! It's coming.
Yeah. So we're hoping to launch it by the 15th, I think, is what we were saying.
Friday,
14th.
Next Friday, if all goes well.
Yeah, next Friday, this 14th. Okay, cool.
Dreaded Friday the 14th.
Yeah. And it depends on the programming, making sure like all the stuff is working the way it's supposed to work.
I'll tell you what.
getting it all set up.
On our end, we're pretty buttoned up on this one. It's some of it's waiting for we have to wait for pledgemanager.com and whatnot. But I think actually they did all their stuff now too. So I don't know. I think we're gonna be okay, but we will see. We haven't seen the.
Yeah.
I haven't seen it yet, but Johanna said it's crushing it. Our webmistress is on it. Webmaster.
Perfect. Any unpainted options? No, there won't be unpainted options in the pledge manager.
You. We want to deliver on time. We
Yeah.
and the reason it's not because we hate painting. I like painting. It's just scale, like, and it's so much easier. It doubles the amount of things number of set codes, and it's just so much easier just to do one thing, especially with the scale of the Kickstarter. It's much easier across the boards. Not to say maybe sometime down the line in the future, maybe we have them. I don't know, but not right now. Here's what I'm gonna say. I'm gonna bet. Let's make a bet. I'm gonna bet. This is a stupid bet. I'm gonna bet that we. Pretty much all my bets are stupid bets. I'm gonna bet that we're gonna deliver this early. Is that crazy?
Yeah.
Is that nuts?
Should
I make a bet with the stream?
It's the thing I'm worried about is the part where we literally don't have any control over shipping, and we're still dealing with the fallout of that whole thing. I think it's a very strong bet that we can say, oh, we've got production done early.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we will actually get production done early.
There are a lot of things between A and B that are beyond our control, but I think we're in pretty good shape. Yeah.
Yeah.
Although Nina is spending the next 3 weeks resculpting the lower half of the Radiant Horror because the rechargeable battery LED unit is like a few millimeters too big to fit in there, but the shape of the thing was like a slightly obeliscian. Is that it was like a slightly tapered trapezoid. Clearly obeliscian. It's a good word. People use it all the time. And it by the
sounds
name
like a Sith Lord.
Darth
Darth Obeliscian.
Yeah. Yeah. So it by the nature of how that works, like she can't just sort of jut out a thing, whatever. So it basically, and then because then it's wrapped in tentacles, it essentially means she has to resculpt the whole damn thing in order to get that extra half a centimeter to fit. Like essentially, it's sort of trying to fit a rectangle into a trapezoid, and it's kicking out on those corners enough that it's just gonna be a mess. So it's a real bummer. But other than that, where everything is cruising. So Reliquaries, woo! I don't even have anything to show.
Cruising USA. Yeah, I guess it's also a thing. Is we've been. I think you went and grabbed the stuff to do this stream today. Like we're in the process of making the move so that everybody can work from home currently.
Well, yeah. In the last 3 weeks, I've been in the studio for a grand total of 9 minutes. That was literally just about to get that camera and get out. All right. So what else? What else in the news?
Outside of Reliquaries, and so we'll be sending out a Reliquaries Kickstarter update soon, with the pledge manager information.
Okay.
And then for Wildlands,
says the guy who doesn't have to send out the update.
I mean, it's soon, TM. We literally have. If it's supposed to launch in less than 2 weeks, we've got to be sending.
It's supposed to launch a week. So yeah.
Yeah. So we better be doing an update soon.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm on it. I'm writing it right now. What else?
So
what else?
Reliquaries, Wildlands.
Yes.
We've got shipping updates. We've got updates on videos and other supplemental things for it that we want to go over. So first, for the shipping updates, the most important thing, I got my first box, so I'm happy.
Me too.
I literally just got it today.
It was actually really disappointing because I got my shipping notice. Yes, I'm so excited. And it came and it was Titan's Tooth and the Moonlit Arch and the dice and a stretch goal pack. which is great because it doesn't. But it was like I was, I'd seen that I'd unboxed the Mega at work, and I was like, oh, and over the break, I'm gonna like build all this stuff, and I was like, this is what I got. Um, and I didn't even get the battle boards. I stole this from the office, so it was,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Um,
we have 3 containers have landed now. And containers I use them because the first one was 2 containers, but 2 halves. But the containers have landed. And Tyler and Eric are going out to the warehouse tomorrow to inspect the stuff in container 3, so we can get that cooking out the door. And stuff is moving. People are receiving things, and it's going to keep going. And the 4th container's on the water, and the 5th container they're sorting out. And we had in the last update, there was a whole breakdown, that spreadsheet people were asking for. Can you add one consolidated list? Jay made a cool consolidated list that has every single set and when you can expect them to ship, hopefully. So
yeah. I think I saw on the Discord, Canadian backers had started getting shipping notices. So the Canada stuff from the first container is going out.
I don't think it has, because Eric was just complaining today they had to manually do like 130 Canadian shipping notices. So or maybe they just started today.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. So maybe
people,
yeah.
Somebody today posted their Canadian shipping notice.
Yeah, you're right. So
it had a little leaf on. Yeah, it had a little leaf on it and stuff.
But they have to manually. They have to manually do a bunch. The way it works is we send this huge batch, like they all go in a pallet of stuff, and then when it gets to Canada, it gets broken out, dropped into UPS, and sent. But then those shipping notices have to get manually pulled from the UPS system and then dropped into Klaviyo and emailed to each backer, because it's not an automated thing. So that's what it is. So yeah. So you're right. It is cooking, but it might take a sec for people to get all their notices. In fact, you might get your notice like the day after you get your thing, if depending on how long it takes to pull all the stuff and get it out. But Canada's on the move.
Awesome. And then the next container, so they're going and checking it tomorrow. So that container will hopefully start shipping to US people next week. Do you think?
I don't want to make any promises, but yes. Assuming everything looks good. Look at this. Look at these anchor magnets. It's holding Titan's tooth. Like that's whoop, there it goes. It's sliding.
Yeah, the size of that was the thing I said. Like I got my unpainted Titan's tooth today. The size of the magnet on the Titan's tooth is it's pretty big.
Boom. So anyway, so stuff is moving, and we're moving out as fast as we can. And we'll keep it posted as it keeps going.
Yeah.
Man, I wish it could go faster, and I want my forest pieces already. What was a real bummer was that first container only had like 50 the forest megas or whatever. So a bunch of folks that got untamed or the mega didn't get them in that first batch, but the second container has them, so those should be hopefully going out, and then third container's mounted. So I don't know, it's moving. We'll get fit photos. Eric and Tyler promised some photos from the warehouse tomorrow, which I'll put in the update.
Oh yeah, people have been getting the battle boards too, huh?
Theoretically, I don't know. There was a box at the office that I might have borrowed.
Okay, so maybe they weren't going out.
I don't know. I wanted to see the samples in there were 4 boxes, so I figured there must be extras.
Oh yeah, Hoppy Hippo says he got his battle boards.
So there you go.
So
yeah, they're going.
Battle boards have been going out.
Woo.
Let's see. Yeah, they're saying that.
I was only in the office.
People are getting their hands on them. They're realizing like why they're so cool.
I was only in the office for 9 minutes, and I managed to get a box of battle boards in the camera. It worked out.
Let's see. So I think that's most of the shipping. Oh, rest of world shipping. So the main thing with that is the rest of world shipping runs on a different process than North America shipping. Those are packaged at the factory.
I think they hit.
And then sent out.
I think they hit some snag.
Yeah.
It was supposed to go out in December, and it didn't. And I don't exactly know. I get like third-hand information when I put up the update.
Yeah. So that's the main thing. We get less information about that process because it's not our warehouse doing it.
Yeah.
And it's not like the same process we do for the North American shipping.
Yes.
But hopefully this month, and the thing with those is because of the way they're doing it, there are some sets that might actually get to rest of world backers first, depending on where everything's at, because they're kind of packing your orders individually. Because basically, so they send all the stuff for the North American orders in a giant container to the warehouse, and then the warehouse like sorts them into your pledges. But here at the factory, they are packing each of your pledges individually. Um,
and then ship
so
them. Yeah.
yeah,
So, but it's moving. Oh, this month hopefully should all go.
yeah. When is Wildlands likely to hit the web store? I think March is too early of an estimate.
May.
Uh, you think May?
Well, I'm not sure if the sixth container. So I don't know what the timeline on Rest of World is, and I don't know when the last container is going to hit, because the New Year, the Lunar New Year, is rolling in fast, and that's going to show them. I think the last container is going to happen after that. I don't know when the light puck is going out, because that hit yet another snag. They're having trouble shipping us. I don't know. So I don't know. I'm guessing like it's going to take till April for everything, all the dust to settle on all the sets, and then by the time we have to get all the all the graphics and all the listings and all the stuff, and it has to be, I don't know, everything in Maya has to be together. And I can turn this fog off. And I think that's going to take us. I think that's going to take us into May, is my guess, but we'll see. Maybe it'll be April, but
Yeah.
guessing April, May.
All right.
But you will hear all about it. We will tell people all about it when it happens.
We're planning to be pretty loud about it as it comes up.
Yes.
Speaking of which, so that should be all the shipping stuff. People have been asking about the painting videos and other informational stuff, like the build guides and all that.
Soon.
That as far as the painting videos go, that's literally the first thing video team is working on this month. We're meeting with the painters tomorrow to figure out what the most efficient series of videos will be. We kind of had a wrench thrown in it with the whole quarantine thing, but we're going to figure out a safe way to get those shot, and hopefully we can start releasing them by the end of the month. But I'll have a more solid timeline next week, because we're having our meeting to sort it all out tomorrow.
Similarly, build guides. At least Forest will shoot shortly, and then Mountain. Assuming everything looks good in this container, we'll grab one of those megas and do a build for that soon also.
Oh, and the plan is to also do guides along with the videos to have PDFs that will be helpful for
paint
people who
PDFs.
need for painting. So on that note, we're gonna try to just release them as the actual sets are getting out. So we're gonna be prioritizing forest stuff right now, because that's what you guys are getting, and then we'll try to do mountains after that, and then swamps and all that. If there's any request about particular pieces you would like to see, because Wildlands has a lot of like unique trees and stuff, if it would be helpful to do like a trees video or something.
Dude, there's over 200 sculpted pieces. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of pieces.
Yeah.
And so we've got. Well, it's interesting because forest and swamp use very similar paint schemes. Swamp just has a couple different accents, basically.
Purple.
Mountain is kind of a juiced up version of the original Aaron Thor. So I think with a lot of the stuff people are going to be curious about is the plants and a lot of the accessories. Runes will definitely have its own video.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's the thing, is we're going to be sorting out what's the most efficient way to get as much information to you guys as possible.
Also,
so if you have any thoughts about that, let me know in the Discord.
Encounters are also cooking along. We should have forest end of this month. Ship out the forest encounters and keep going from there.
Yes. We've got.
It's exciting.
Yeah, because the graphics is putting.
Yeah.
The forest adventures together as we speak. Mountain is written, and then they're going to be putting those together once they're in the forest. And swamp. Both swamps are supposed to be finished with writing this month, so then they'll be ready when Mountain is done.
Woo!
So yeah,
I'm excited. The forest adventures, we get Teos and Eli did some fun. It's two fun adventures. They're pretty cool. It's a cool run through all the encounters.
I'm really happy with just the variety that we're getting to it. It feels like it kind of it feels like a lot of different kinds of games, which is nice.
Modular adventures for modular terrain.
We show off the new Wildlands Core on the Anvil. If we have a new Wildlands Core, we'll definitely be showing it off. Uh,
First
we
step will
don't
be
currently have
making
one.
it. Yeah. How?
Anything that we develop like that, any core sets we're working on, we will definitely tell you guys about. Which we actually are going to be talking about that a bit later in the news segment. We've got some stuff about reconfigurations and core sets that we want to talk about.
How are we
Um,
gonna
but we'll
do
get to that later.
Wilderness Core? Just makes my brain hurt. But
It's a way harder thing to approach, right? Because you're not building rooms, you're building open areas. So it's a different kind of beast to tackle.
so
Uh,
any suggestions? Please send them
yeah,
to Chris.
yeah. Don't the heart sets work decently as a core? I think they're too expensive as a core.
They're like $1,200 or something, aren't they?
Yeah. Cores, we really want to be in the like $100 to $200 range. Something that is
Yeah.
not a huge, like enough stuff to like you can play a good amount of games with it, but like not so much that it's gonna make newcomers like kind of blush at it.
Well, and they also need to, on our end, they need to contain pieces that have higher multiples, lowish variety of pieces with highish multiples of them, so that we can reorder them regularly, easily.
Yeah.
Um, having
Um,
like the Heart of the Wild or the Heart of the Forest has, I don't know, 60 unique pieces. Some of them are one ofs, and where it's a hard one to reorder regularly. Versus like the Caverns Core, everything is at least a two of, if not a four of, or a eight of, and there's only. Which has a lot. Maybe it has 20 different pieces or something, or 16 different
yeah.
pieces. But at least it's not 60 different pieces and one of. So
It's also entirely possible that maybe Wilderness just needs to take a different core structure than the other ones do. Maybe we look at it less as a building a room thing and more as a maybe we just need like a Banks core, an Escarpment's core, etc.
rotten to the core.
Yeah. Um, yeah. Masticon, we did
Hey,
see.
that's good.
We actually when you wrote those core suggestions, uh, God, it must have been like a year ago at this point. We did take those to the team, and that's part of the. It's definitely affected part of the thinking. But there's a lot of factors we've got to take into consideration. Wildlands had like
It,
250 pieces.
manufacturing is a big part of it. Like what we can actually
Yeah.
restock, like what we can actually, do print runs of that. Do a print run of 300 sets or something, like, because we want to be doing. Ideally, you want to be casting at least 3,000 of a piece when you do a run. So do the math.
Yeah.
What else we
Let's
got?
see. Uh, let's see. People were wondering. Yeah, let's talk about the restock situation. Because people were asking about that earlier, so just do that one next. Uh, as far as restocks go, I think the big Hellscape restock with the new Hellscape core and the natural bridge. That stuff looks so good. If you didn't see the new Hellscape pieces, uh, two on the anvils ago, the one with me and Mace, we showed off those as well as the new Ice Advanced Caverns. Wait, was it Ice Advanced Caverns? What was it? Ice Natural Bridge.
Ice natural
Yeah,
edge.
yeah. We have new Ice and new Hellscape pieces coming in the next
Oh,
restock.
and the advanced is in there too.
Is it? Have
I
we not
believe.
done Ice
Or
Advanced
do we
yet?
already
No,
have
that's
advanced
right
ones?
because it had my favorite corner, the one with the salamander on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's blue.
yeah,
Yeah. No, it's so exciting. I'm so pumped.
yeah. That restock. Uh, we initially said it would be a January restock. It's not going to be a January restock.
Maybe January 31st. I don't know.
Maybe, yeah.
Eh.
The we asked the factory to prioritize Wildlands production, uh, so they put making those pieces before making the stuff for the restocks. Uh, we don't, so it'll probably be in February for the first one, and then there will be a second restock fairly close behind it. Both of them are listed on the site. If you look at the Dwarven Forge site on the header,
Restocks.
we've got a restock list there that has each set sorted by
Yeah.
which group they're coming in, basically.
I'm
Uh,
excited for the Hellscape batch coming in March. That's gonna be really fun.
yeah.
Um,
Well, that was the thing, right? We tried to do that Hellscape build of the month, and it was just like, man,
we
we
don't know
need a
enough
core set to be
basic.
able to like
Yep.
do this stuff.
Yes. Can we segue this
Um,
into the? And speaking of core sets, the new dungeon core sets. I don't know if that was next in order, but
it's part of it, yeah.
we mentioned this last before we shut down in December. We're working on reconfigures, new core sets for dungeons. So let us know. We already got some good ideas. Let us know if there's core sets you'd like to see for dungeons. What you're dreaming of. We're trying to overhaul dungeons the way we overhauled caverns. Round up the best of greatest hits into some stuff. Get some of those pieces that were harder to get. Get some have a bunch of new sets that'll spruce up our dungeon offering. Because it's honestly our dungeon offering isn't as good as it should be, considering dungeons is like the thing. Like so.
Yeah, because asking classic ones, I think there is some classic dungeon
Classic,
configurations
vaulted, all of it. Oh yeah, yeah. We're remastering some old pieces, throwing some magnets in there, cleaning up the edges, doing with some plans. It's exciting.
Any idea when more Forsaken Temple stuff will be available? That's also a discussion we've been having.
I want to do a Forsaken
we want to
core.
bring Forsaken Temple back.
We need a core.
Yeah, give it a good core.
Yeah.
Because Forsaken Temple is like interesting. Like you can just mix it with the other dungeon styles to give like a little bit of accent. Like it's nice. Hey, stop.
No, it's a really cool just cool flavor across the boards.
Yeah.
You could get a lot. Like one core set would give you a lot of mileage. Makes it, the challenge with it is all the corners are LED. It's not. It's not a not most affordable line. There's jewels and LEDs and just nonsense dripping off all these things.
Let's see. So someone was asking, with all the core sets selling out, if we're going to be restocking those anytime soon. I think Jay's trying to add core sets into the next restock.
Don't we have more coming as is already, or
we might be? I know he was saying like that's his priority is.
Yeah.
So basically, we're selling these things faster than we ever thought we would, which is a great problem to have. But we're trying to get them back in stock. Like we literally, because initially the reason they ran out of stock was because the shipping crisis pushed our restock back so much. But then when we had the core set restock come in, we were like, cool, we're getting 500 of each. These will last for a year. And then almost all the core sets sold out within 3 months. So
it's good problems to have.
Yeah, it's a good problem to have. Told us that we probably need to order larger stocks, which is again
501. That's
which is again a really good problem to have. But yeah, we are. I'll double check on that. I do know he's trying to get them in. I'm not sure if they're coming in separately or if they're coming in as part of the next restock. But yeah, Jay was talking about he wants to get the core sets back in.
We were all dying. The core should never sell out, but yes.
Yeah. Oh,
So, but anyway, tell us what you want to see for dungeon reconfigures. I want to make sure we're making sets that you're excited about. So let us know. What was your You had a classic dungeon remastered core. So the classic dungeon core is coming in the January February. Zoltar's Game Room is coming. Caverns Core Hellscape. Advanced Caverns Core Hellscape. Oh, it's coming in January? I thought it was coming in March. Wow.
Well, probably February now, but...
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It'll be February. And then the next one has Classic Dungeon Core.
People are asking for Crystal Caverns Core.
Basic Caverns Core, or Cavern, it's misspelled. Advanced Caverns Core. What are they asking for?
A lot of people are asking for a Crystal Caverns Core.
Ooh. Whoa, did we lose your...
We did. I didn't want to say anything because I thought it was funny.
It's funny. I missed... There you
yeah.
There All right, I'm not going to touch the tech. All right, what else we got?
Terrain trays. What's the status on terrain trays? Because we're updating them and they're coming in. Yeah.
So here's the lively thing. So ready to get people riled up. We're gonna put grids. We're gonna start putting grids on train trays, little by little. Assuming that all the Wildlands grids work out, we're gonna drop some subtle grids and everything. We're also revamping the art on some of the basic ones. The rough stone is getting new art. The acid is going to become caustic sludge, is getting some new art. A few things. We're revamping the magma rivers to be more like the Wildlands water rivers in terms of the composition and how those work. So we're kind of overhauling some of the terrain trays to make them more useful and easier to get, and then have that on the website. We only have like two options right now, but you can sort of pick your flavor, right? So you can sort of see what in the single terrain tray option, you can see all the different flavors in one place, so it's hopefully easier to browse and pick what you want. But it's going to take a little bit because once again the Lunar New Year is rolling in, and we lose the factory for a month.
Yeah, and we're really trying to have them prioritize wildland stuff.
But you know what we do have? Let's see if I do I have
you have the ice?
I don't know if you can tell. It's got a satin finish. You know what I can do? Hold on. Let's see. I have it. Oh boy, I made a barricade for myself with my Star Trek technology. Here is also a barricade.
Is that new? Yeah, we basically decided we wanted to update the ice to make it shine, basically.
Icier. I don't know if you can tell the difference. This is the old, and this is the new, and it's got a satin sheen. It's easier to see in person, but it's pretty.
They're saying they see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely you definitely see the light affect it more.
Yeah, it's cool. What's disappointing is they were supposed to put the satin sheen on the water too, but it's the same old water. But man,
well, can we ask them to change it?
Well, no, we have like whatever, 1,000 of them sitting in the warehouse now. But yeah.
Well, next time.
Yeah, we get there. But it's pretty cool. It's a nice sheen. They did it on the texture patches. These little texture patches have the sheen. I'm out of focus. So
that's a good question.
So I was like, well, why can't we do that on the terrain trays? And they said, I don't know, because you didn't ask for it. I was like, well, all right, fair. Oh, wait, what's the question? What's the thought? Who's a hua?
Will those be part of Ice Caverns Core, or will they be their own thing? I'm assuming the new ice texture patches, or the sheen on the texture patches.
The texture patches are in the Ice Caverns Core do have the sheen. That's where it came from. When we did the first the Ice Caverns Core and they had those in there, they got the sheen on them. I was like, whoa, wait, you've been holding out a sheen on us? Like, this is like, we got to get the sheen everywhere. So it's not everywhere, but it's, you can see it on this one. Look at that.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Versus the old does not have the same. It's like an ice sheet. Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, that's a nice effect.
It's an ice one.
Is there any plan to restock the older resin sets at any point this year?
Oh yeah, wait, we didn't also mention that the back of these, this is water. This is like a new lineup. It's sheen, sateen, ice, and water on the other side.
I think what we basically decided was it would be more useful to have two that were ice on one side and water on one side instead of one that was ice on both sides and one that was water on both sides, because then you could have like the ice next to each other and the water next to each other.
Well, and you have you get more variation out of one thing.
Yeah.
What was the question?
Are we restocking older resin sets at any point this year? I think it's a no.
So resin factories have been shutting down. Our initial resin factory shut down. The new one we're using that we used for Wildlands, more expensive, and it was hard. It was harder to get the same results we wanted, and just cost a lot more. And everything's more cantankerous about resin. And fundamentally, we don't move the volume. You move 100 sets. It's not like it's a lot of work for not much versus say a Cavern's Core set or something that is flying off the shelves. It's funny, Stefan. I was talking to Stefan yesterday, and he's like, why aren't we making more cool resin limited edition? You only do 100 of them, whatever. And I was like, well, A, we can't afford it, and B, like, then you have 100 and then it's gone, and then why do we spend all this time making this thing and you can't do it again and whatever. But like, resin's awesome and it's beautiful, and I still like this. I have a resin piece in this build. I use it. It's great, but it's like it's just getting harder to make, and it has smaller audience. So
Yeah. Although, yeah, I got my Moonlit Arch today, and it's really, really nice.
oh, it's gorgeous.
But, is it so? Then the question always then becomes like, so then are we going to remake those resin sets in Dwarvenite? And the answer is, give us enough time, and we'll make everything in Dwarvenite. But
maybe
kind of yes and no. It depends on
the set.
Like, for example, we did SciFi and resin a long time ago, and now we're going to be doing SciFi and Dwarvenite.
But we're not going to recast those.
It's not going to be the exact same pieces.
Those ones we won't ever make those in anything other than the resin.
Yeah.
A lot of the resin stuff I don't think we'll ever do, because also some of it won't translate as well to Dwarvenite. Like the Realm of the Ancients, those little mosaics would have. I don't think they're sculpted for resin, not for Dwarvenite. Like, I don't think they'd work.
Different details read better on different materials.
Also, I don't know if I have the masters of those anymore. I don't know. I don't know.
But there are some environments that we did in resin where even if we're not doing the same sculpts again, we'll probably do sculpts that are similar at some point in Dwarvenite. Again,
catacombs.
Like
Okay. Yeah.
SciFi catacombs.
Yeah. Someday these things will. Yeah.
Let's see. Is it the time that's the issue with resin? It's mostly the fact that costs are going up and it's harder to find factories that'll make it.
It's a lot of work, and it's not a smaller market, and it's expensive.
Right.
Woo!
God, did we cover everything? Dungeon reconfig updates, restock updates. Did we want to talk about SciFi more?
Yeah, we had our first official SciFi development meeting, which is super exciting. And we haven't actually sculpted anything or drawn anything, but we figured out a bunch of bits. We went through that survey again, and I think we're gonna be focused on sort of modular. We're talking 12 or 16 pieces tops, modular spaceship or base interior system. Probably 2x2 tile based, but definitely like the emphasis. It seems like everybody's really champing at the bit for RPG interiors for SciFi. That was sort of the if you distill down the SciFi thing. So we looked at a bunch of stuff, and we talked about a bunch of concepts, and we're pushing we're doing parallel development, cities and SciFi concurrently. So we'll see what the timeline is, but it's exciting. I think we have some neat stuff already cooking, and we'll see where it goes. But we haven't forgotten SciFi. We're slowly moving that ball forward, and it'll be fun to do because it's gonna open up a whole like there's a lot to.
Matt Hood wants to know if SciFi would have any Eldritch Horror components. I think probably not in this initial set, but if SciFi sells well and we get to keep making SciFi,
we're gonna do a sort of a general initial set of 12 or 16 pieces, and then at some point it'll be a full-blown Kickstarter, and then all bets are off. Then who knows where all that's gonna go.
Yeah.
Cthulhu
Main thing
space.
is everybody here loves Spelljammer, so we just want to actually provide the tools to do a Spelljammer campaign.
How do I have a button that cuts you off?
We got a question from Superb Mario Bros. Is there still a possibility to get in for the Reliquaries Pledge Manager, like as a late pledge?
Send us an email.
Yeah.
We have a policy of not publicizing it, but email customer support at dwarvenforge.com. We'll take care of you.
Will SciFi be continually restocked or just a one and done? If it sells, we'll absolutely keep it around, right?
I mean, just like
If
our
it
core sets and everything else.
if it turns out people don't want it, then I guess we won't keep making it. But
Yeah.
I have a feeling it's gonna sell.
I don't know if it's going to be a pre-order, if it's going to be a mini Kickstarter, if it's going to be just straight onto the web store. I don't know exactly what the delivery method is yet, but we'll keep you posted. It's
Hey, Kodiak Bear's here.
Hey Kodiak, how are you
Let's
doing?
see. Any other questions? Is there an ETA on cities?
2022.
Nice. Is there an ETA on sci-fi?
No, no. Got it. I don't know.
Will it be designed with a core set concept in mind? Yeah, I think the idea for the initial sci-fi thing is to make the core set first,
Yeah.
basically.
It's either a core set or it's a core and an advanced,
Yeah.
But it's we're capping ourselves at 12 or 16 pieces. I can't remember what we said. It's a very very small allowance, so which could break into two sets, or it could be a core and a mega, or something,
Yeah.
or a basic a core and a mega. I don't know, but yeah, one kind of collection of things. It's gonna be neat. We will keep you posted as it evolves.
Will the sci-fi set work with the resin set? I think our priority would be in having it mix and match with our current Dwarvenite stuff more than with the resin sci-fi.
Yeah. Yeah, it is not. We're not doing the sort of the retro futurism of the original. We're going to. I mean, we sent out an elaborate survey that had a bunch of stuff, and retro futurism scored like abysmally. We had of all the styles of sci-fi out there. It was like last or second to. Is there a what's penultimate for last?
What?
Like, what's the sec? Is there a word for the second to last?
Yes, penultimate.
Isn't that the second to the final? Oh yeah, I guess I got. Oh yeah. I think of it in a negative. Like, is there an inverse? Like, but can it go? Can it go in both directions? Can penultimate so if the top rated set is this, the penultimate set is the second to highest. Also, right? Is there like the evil penultimate? Like it's
the
the
one
second
before
to
the
bottom.
end.
Yeah. So it just goes in any direction. It doesn't matter what it doesn't. It's not good or bad. It doesn't judge. It's the second last in any way.
It's just second. If you're talking about the one after the first, it's just second.
Huh. So including if first is last.
Or sequel or something. I don't know.
No, it's the Anyway. So yeah. So what else we got? Hey, the other. Did I tell you I'm gonna build the terrain workshop of my dreams. I got this plan.
In your garage?
No, so I got a house. It happened.
Right.
And I have an attic. It's 16 feet by 13 feet and 7 inches. So it's like it's bigger than this, and it's not. It has heat and it has air conditioning and it has 2 windows that are about this big each. So it's a huge upgrade from this cold cinder block basement. And I have a plan for the ultimate terrain workshop. So what I'm gonna do, we'll do an on the Anvil tour when I've built this thing out. So in the next 2 months, and show because I've promised to do like a storage, like talking about storing Dwarvenite and organizing Dwarvenite, how kind of like dealing with terrain sector, whatever. So I think I have a plan. I think I have a solution. I think I have like the ultimate thing, and we can. I'm excited to walk people through it when I build out. I got some plans. We're gonna build some. We got some stuff is cooking. We got it's gonna be wild. I have a this a modular tabletop system that if it works is gonna be I don't know. We'll see.
Well,
But that'll be it's an oncoming.
Congrats on the house.
Hey, I'm very excited. Very excited. I have an attic. I have asbestos. I have all the good stuff you ever want with a house. It's so exciting. We got But anyway, so it'll be a cool episode. We'll do a storage and setup episode at some point.
Nice.
Oh, it's gonna be awesome. Like, the whole, it's gonna be like, if you think this is good, I have like, I'm gonna have every single piece at my fingertips in an array of like ultimate building. Like, oh, it's gonna be so good. Yeah,
Beautiful.
yeah, I'm very excited.
I think the only other stuff I can think of to address is what the video team is up to at the moment. Uh,
What's the video team up to at the moment?
so over the break, we published 3 videos, 2 of which are for a series we've been working on for a bit. The whole Getting Started series.
I mean, we shot those like 7 months ago or something, right?
Yep, they got shelved for reliquaries, and then I was like, I just want to get them done by the end of the year. I just want us to like have them out, and we got them out, and it seemed like people were fairly pleased with them. We've gotten a little bit of feedback that will help shape like the future of that.
What
One of the
feedback?
things we did with it though is we're trying to include both like actual chapters in videos where it
Woo!
makes sense so that you can clearly see. If you come back to the video and you just want information on one certain section of it or something, you can just click around to that, and you can have like a chapter guide up to go to like, okay, I just need to see the negative space builds and stuff like that. We're also trying to caption informational videos going forward. I don't know if we're going to caption everything. Some of the ones that are like half hours of Nate like mumbling to himself as he moves like some blocks around.
That's my
I don't know if we're gonna
life.
caption those.
That's my life, Chris. That's all I do.
I know, but like at least for the scrap.
When I'm doing it on camera, that's
yeah. But at least for the scripted stuff, I want us to caption as much of it as possible, just to for people that's helpful for. It would be nice to have it if we can. So we're going back and we're trying to caption some other stuff in the catalog. If we miss anything, if anybody sees a video and you're like, hey, it'd be nice if this had captions, let me know and we'll get on it. It's going to take us some time to go back through the catalog and do it. But yeah.
What feedback do we get on the videos aside from chapters and captioning?
So somebody pointed, I think it was Topulus, pointed out that like the one bit of the like one term that we use that might be confusing without having a standalone video for it is negative space. And so I was like, we should probably just do like a getting started with negative space video that just focuses on how you do scatter, and we can talk about it across all the different biomes.
Yep.
So we'll probably add that to the list of videos to make for that. And then also for the same video, talking about magnets. Some people, when they get to the store, aren't sure how to figure out which sets are going to have magnets and which ones aren't. And so that can be something that we can cover
Don't we
in
have
that video as well.
Don't we have a filter?
We do, but you know, as many different ways as we can help. The better.
Well, I mean, we have 80 filters or something. So like,
Yeah.
if you don't know what it is, where it is, and how to find it, I mean, I don't even know if we have it or not. So that's a sign that Although honestly,
I also heard back from a lot of people that they wanted to make a lot of those builds, and one of the things that we saw was a lot of those sets that we had in those videos. The sets that we used to make those sample builds, their sales numbers went up. A good number of them sold out.
Great.
And so I guess the question I'd be curious about is,
and weren't we trying to use sets that we wouldn't sell out of? That was the whole point of this. Like, let's use sets that we know we're always gonna have like a lot. And
yeah.
I mean, it was 7 months ago, and we had a good stock then. But yeah. Oh. Well, sorry. What were you gonna? I cut you off, and you had a.
I guess the thing I'm wondering is when it comes to those sample builds, do you think that's all we need to do for sample builds, or do you think there's value in us having those or some of them available as like bundles in the store potentially?
Oh yeah.
I guess.
I think there's value of having some of those available as bundles in the store.
And just like they'll be available whenever all the sets are in stock for them or something.
Yeah. Because we use sets that were always in stock, so it shouldn't be hard.
Yeah. Well, that's what we've built up enough new customers that we need to start ordering more than the bare minimum to actually keep stuff in stock now, which is really cool. The company's growing.
Woo!
Yeah.
I'm excited for more getting started. Including
could we get a low stock option on the website? We do have one. It's final few, I think, is the filter. The final few filter will just show you the sets that have 10 or less left, something like that.
I think we're also fundamentally we're trying to phase out sets that don't have anchor magnets where applicable.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Um,
magnets,
let's see. Yeah, another whole part of the discussion is like, what should we just take off the store at this point?
Eric's been trying to
Yeah.
pull retired sets off for ages. Let's
Yeah.
let's do a giveaway. Let's give some stuff away.
Yeah. Let's see. What should the word be?
I don't know. What have we been talking about today?
A lot. We've been just doing all the everything that we're working on. We've done news for an hour.
Sci-fi.
SciFi. This is going to be SCIFI with no spaces or dashes or anything. It's just going to be sci-fi, all together, one word. SCIFI.
Not to be confused with SciFi,
Yeah.
the channel.
This giveaway is going to be for a $50 Dwarven Forge gift card. Everybody is eligible for this, no matter where you live in the world. So, yeah, we're going to let that run for a bit. Just type in sci-fi if you want to enter. It's not case sensitive, so don't worry about that. And, well, yeah, we'll roll it in a few minutes once everybody's had a chance to enter.
Hey, now would be the time to go to that fan build that I didn't load.
Yeah. Well, we do have a fan build.
happened
It's
to
submitted
that
by
guy?
Nate Taylor.
Hey, there's our fan
Oh.
build.
Wait, what happened?
I hit the fan build button, and
It's called the Void.
that's what it is. It's deleted.
I should have sent you some of the 12. We've been scrambling. I literally flew in this morning and got back, and we've been.
Boy, are
it's the
his
first
arms
week back.
tired.
Yeah, it's the first week back. We've been trying to get everything set up, and yeah.
Yeah. Let's go into movie light. Let's get
everybody's saying it was just a negative space build.
see what they did there?
Yeah.
All right. I approve of this message.
Whew.
All right.
Let's see.
Let's do this. Let's roll this giveaway. Wait, how do I do?
All right, sure. Yeah, we got a lot of people in already. On the fence, how to use the Wicked Cities accessories pack? Worth the buy?
Yes.
I thought it was really cool. Like I didn't know it was a pack that we had until Toby put it in the holiday bundles.
Oh no, that pack is dynamite.
Yeah, like the posts are pretty nice. Getting the horse and cart is really nice. The fountain's cool. Oh, it's a lot of really cool accessories. If you've already got city stuff, it gives you a good bunch of nice stuff to add into it.
There's a fountain. There's some scatter bits. It's like the smuggler's cart is I use that thing all the time.
Yeah.
The horses are detachable from the yoke, and the yoke is detachable, and the smuggler's detachable. Everything's detachable.
If you're running Lost Mines of Fendelver, you can use that cart for the use the horse and cart for the opening.
Yes.
Horses and carts are incredibly common. All right.
Turns out.
Let's go ahead and roll this giveaway. And hey, Wilderness Encounter.
Woo!
Nice. All right. I'm gonna message you real quick. Get your email, and we can add that to your account. There we go.
All right, I got my. Oh wait a sec.
Awesome.
I really have a handle on this technology.
Wilderness Encounter is probably just gonna hold on to this gift card until the Wildlands stuff drops.
Oh wait, can you use the gift card?
They found us like a month after Wildlands ended, and so they couldn't get in on it.
Tough timing.
Yeah. What about second giveaway?
So we give away the hobbits. Yeah.
Well, once you have another box of... Well, Yak finally got that box full of unpainted passages.
That is awesome. I want to see them painted. Get on that.
I've just been clacking around all the Wildlands dice in my hand.
Clickety clack. All right, let's look at a little dungeon build here. So, this was... we go to close game. All right, so this is a thing I built for home game. What's fun or maybe funny was this was a kind of spur of the moment night before. I'm like, I should probably build a thing for this. I was like, let me just do something simple. that I can do quickly, and it turned out to be neither of those things. But it's kind of fun. Like sometimes I kind of psych myself up too much, or I'm like, oh well, this has got to be like the ultimate thing, whatever. So it was just sort of I was trying to do like a relaxed, I don't know, not trying too hard, whatever that means. But it was the idea was is this thing we're in a this is the heart of the Durgar city, the gray citadel of Drognall, down in the Underdark, and this is the Soul Forge where they're shattering people's souls and putting them into Warforged. They can break people's souls apart into a bunch of like if they can break a soul into like 6 pieces and then use each of those to power a Warforged, they get like more bang for their buck. So they basically eradicated all the Myconids because I don't like Myconids, so I had the Durgar just they've killed all the Myconids and shattered all their souls and then used them. Each one gives them 6 souls they can use to power these Warforged anyway. So it's an evil workshop doing stuff. So it was a fun sort of climactic boss fight. So I wanted to make a thing that had a bunch of big open space. Let's go to the overhead so you can see things. Big open space. There was a lot of area to run around. It's kind of a big free for all. With I definitely want. There was lava. Like it was their second sort of fighting encounter with the Durgar, and lava was a constant theme because it's really fun. It gives you something to. It gives the player something they need to avoid. But B, it then becomes another objective, like the previous lava encounter, which was negative space, tons and tons of negative space lava, just little islands and catwalks and stuff. Everything that they killed in there, they just killed by throwing them into the lava. Like the whole thing was like the warlock has what's the invocation or where you get when you hit with Eldritch Blast, you push. It's a 10-foot push on. Wow, that is a loud. We're getting a 10-foot push from that fire truck. Whatever the invocation is, where you can push with your Eldritch Blast. So every time he hits with an Eldritch Blast, he gets to push things 10 feet, and he's got 3 blasts or 11th level, so he's got 3 blasts a turn. So he's just like, so there's all these Durgar running up. He's just like bam, 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 shooting everybody into the lava, and the barbarian / rogue is just grappling everybody and throwing in the lava, and it was just like everybody was just throwing everybody into the lava nonstop. It was amazing. Like they were just chucking, like I just kept throwing Durgar and Warforged out there and just kept chucking everybody in the lava. It's really fun. So anyway, so lava was fun because A, it becomes an area they have to avoid. B, it becomes an area they can start throwing people into, and then C, it's an area I was like, well, now the bad guys are going to want to shove them into the lava, and there were a couple of fun things. So lava was a must, and then I wanted to have contraption like zones of things happening. So it's not just like, oh, you gotta like hit the guy till he falls down, but it was all these like mini games of over here they're working on if they can activate. There was a Durgar over here working on Artificer working on thing. If he had enough time, he would activate these guys, and then more Warforged would join the fight. Then over here, these are the controls for the summoning area, and if this guy was left alone too long, he'd start summoning demons because they're doing this whole thing with demons. Where over here, this thing was going to power up the big boss. So they had all these areas where they had to deal with minions doing stuff. If they didn't deal with them, the fight was going to get worse. And then door over here and door over here. You can see the bottom. There's a big double door over here. So reinforcements could come and kind of keep things spicy. And then, of course, the big driver was there was a big Warforged Titan that the main boss could jump in and drive around like a mech and cause all sorts of havoc with. So it was a fun full session battle that did exactly what we were trying to make it really. Oh, and of course, for fun, they came in through the lava chute, like because the players never you give them like 4 options at the entrance and they'll take the 5th option, which you didn't expect, which was like sneak in through the back vent, and like they came in through the lava chute, which was really lively. And it was a vehicle for the fog machine, right? So getting the fog monster going. All right. So
where the fog is coming in, those are buttresses framing it, right?
Yeah. So I'll walk through all these zones and talk about the little tricks and tips and what we did here. All right. Here we're going handheld, and I'll switch over to it in a second. See what happens. This could be
going hand planet.
Oh man, did I? Hang on. Holy moly.
What did you do?
No, nothing. Just nothing to see here. Spaghetti chords. Okay. So going close cam.
Is the rest of the build up on film still? Well, he'll talk about it.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Oh, and the other, the one of the inspiration for this was the end of Terminator 2, right? Where they're in the foundry and the robot, because they have this friendly robot with them, Slag, the supremely lethal assault gladiator that is a warforged. And I was thinking if it went well, the Slag could sacrifice themselves to save the group and melt into the lava. Where I was like, I'm gonna go full T2. That of course didn't happen, but I was driving for that, like, that glowy sort of T2 thing. So the big driver on the build. Well, first of all, overall, it's a 2 foot by 3 foot build, right? I do all these builds in these document trays so I can slide them around, and because I don't have a lot of space down here, I can take it off the workbench, put it over there, stack them, and yada yada. But the big driver was trying to make a cool lava pit that could hold some fog from our friend Fog Monster that's over there, and kind of look cool and play with some dynamics, right? Having the depth to it actually was really helpful because someone was it gave us more room to work, especially with the Titan depth. So essentially, I pre-built. I threw the terrain trays down, kind of figured out where I wanted my lava, and then lofted everything else. So and it's kind of fun because you can see under here. I didn't even cover the sides, so you can sort of see, right? It's just a whole bunch of stilts down here that are wide open with terrain trays on them, right? So it's like these whole sections are these are terrain trays on stilts, lofted up around, built around the this thing to give some really fun depth. And then the other, visually for when we're running the table, the fun thing is, wow, you can see the water pooling up. I can just shove lights underneath, like the whole undersection has LED. I just put LED pods. Where are they?
You got some Loom cubes in there?
Yeah, Lumas and pods under there to give it a really cool glow to it. I didn't even bother to dress it with terrain because they can't. I'm playing on Vorpal board, so it's remote, so like I can control what they're seeing. Obviously, Grayson, my son who's playing here in person, can peek around, but it's okay if he sees where the lights are. So was driving a lot of I'm out of water on the fogger. No, we gotta take a fog pause. Wait, hold tight. We gotta get the fog.
This whole thing falls apart if there's no fog.
Yeah, no, it's the illusion. The illusion collapses. What am I drinking? Well, you say, tell me a joke or something.
A joke? I was just fooling from Washington. Boy, am I tired.
Tell me how tired your arms are from flying in.
Did you hear what I said or no?
Oh, but that's like the best joke ever.
I literally just did like a subversion on that.
Well, good call. All
right.
Just not totally fine. Everything's fine here. How are you? Okay.
What is the beeping?
Nothing.
Okay.
I didn't knock over a heater. All right. Wait, fog's all right. So lofted everything up on stilts, and then some of the areas that couldn't fit on a terrain tray, I just threw elevation blocks and floors on there. And the idea was just trying to give fun depth, because then I wanted to do bridges and crisscrossing and some multiple heights, right? Everything's more exciting with some z-axis, particularly when you have a stupid barbarian rogue with boots of striding and leaping that can leap 45 feet in a standard move, and you gotta make it lively for your monks and the like.
I forgot we have those grates.
Oh yeah, they're great. I use them all the time. So, all right. So we're looking over it. So this just to mask the fog monster, it's just our dungeon elevation, that arch, and then these are the buttresses from the castle on there. And then I threw an LED, these waterproof LED pods right underneath to put some underlight under the fog, and it's just pouring out onto 2 of the magma river terrain trays, making anything. This is our bridge with the middle piece and the bridge, and I put the whole thing. Let's see, I gotta take this apart.
What people are asking what the grates are from. Is it just from the Hellscape Gate?
Hellscape Gate, and we had a set called the Devil's Doorstep, I think, that gave a bunch of those extra
Yeah.
grates and small. It was like weirdo utility pieces, which are really useful. So I just put a bunch of the pillars and the gargoyles there to kind of fill out enough under the bridge that I could put that thing out. Because I wanted to do some diagonals, right? Because diagonals are fun and everything's square. Especially felt Durgardy to have like 45-degree angles. So the diagonal backfill floor. This isn't actually an OG from KS1 to fill that out, and then grates, and then I used two of those grates here to bridge this thing because this then became a fun. I was like, well, this if they want, this could be a thing someone could break this or knock it down or anything that could potentially be interactive. The players could, something fun that they could do that would affect the environment becomes part of the challenge. And it just looked cool, right? Having light and smoke and stuff coming through it. And then the other fun bits, there's diagonal walls. I tried to do, feed those diagonals again. Diagonal wall just covered with the diagonal floor. And then this was just, once again, feeding the same diagonal floors, couple of 4x1s cantilevered out to just continue that stretch, make it feel very industrial. I use this all the time. I take these are the Greek fire projectors from the castle, and they sculpted by Michelle, as was the Hellfire furnace, and so they kind of sit really nicely together. I kind of just put those things together to make it look like some weirdo contraption. I do that all the time. I do it over here with the this is our, was it the Resin Fantasy Floors set, the weird tomato soup thing, the what is it? It's the, I don't know, like the lava fountain, but it looks kind of like tomato soup.
It looks like a pumpkin soup.
Yeah, right. It looks like some sort of fun stuff. This is actually a piece from Galadoria Games. They had like a artificer set, so I threw that thing in there, and then I took the same gag with the Greek fire projector, and then took the Hellfire furnace, popped that up on end on a. These are just the crenellations. The one that holds like the bucket, the lava bucket. It looked like a kind of a neat, I don't know, metal support or wood, stone support, and just made this just a rando contraption that they could be doing something on. I do this one a lot too. Take the trap, the mobile trap stand from Dungeon of Doom, and then just put it up on end and against the thing, and it looks like a weird artificer's setup. And then a lever. Try to throw levers all over the place. I don't even know what they do, but if the players want to pull it, then you kind of figure out what's a fun thing to do with it, and off we go.
You could just make a table, and every time they pull a lever, you just roll and see what happens.
That requires even more prep. I was just like, I'll figure out something fun if they pull it, like whatever's the most lively thing to do, it'll do. But yes, a table would have been cool, right? The random roll a d10 and see what happens. Or it's a Wanda Wonder. I don't know. Here's another fun. I tried to also kind of vary the elevation within the build itself. So there's a lot of like, this layer of floors is on top of the other layer of floors to kind of feel like, those factory, ever been a factory floors, there's a lot of like weird elevation changes where they're just sort of like, there's a step down in the area where the oil refinery is or stuff. I don't know. It just felt like, once again, just for feel, I guess I had a lot of little step down. Same thing over here. These are kind of like railings, just a arbitrary step down to kind of make it feels more industrial to me for some reason.
So can't get over how you use that corner piece to make the bridge like go 45-degree angle.
Right, it's so satisfying. It's such a
backfill. Yeah, because I was staring at that for a while. I was like, where did he get this long piece that is like cut off diagonally? I'm like, oh no, that's two 1x4s.
It's just 1x4s with a diagonal. Just simple shapes, right? Simple geometry, but it kind of makes it feel, once again, this is kind of industrial design. But this is elaborate dais here. Is just, these are our stairs from KS1 into 2 floors stacked on top of each other. Like, no, nothing fancy. I take it back. I take it all back. It is elaborate. Well, not that elaborate, but it's the, Why I did this, I don't entirely know. But these are the 1x1 grand stair pack from KS1 4 of those with a regular floor on top, because I guess I liked the height of that better than, I don't know. But it's not once again, a bunch of simple pieces of geometry put together to make a platform. And this one is on daises, I think, too, right? This is, just four dais platforms to do a thing. And none of that's necessary. You could put everything on the floor. I guess it just like over designing it just to try and make it feel industrial or Drugari. Similarly, I have these kind of in some of these interior walls that just to kind of break up the space and make it a little more interesting wandering around. Then let's go over here. So this was fun. So this was like the demon summoning zone, which I didn't even turn it on. So this is from the castle. This is the that 4x4 LED floor, and I put it on. Which mode did I put it on? I think I put it on flicker. Ooh. I must have it on flickering because the battery's dead. No. Come on, battery. All right, we're going the other way.
It seems to work until you take your hand off it.
Yeah. All right. So that was like the cool glowing platform. So that's the 4x4 floor from Castles with the hellscape. What was this? This is from the Soul Cage, the top of the Soul Cage on there, and that glows really nicely when you put it on that thing. And then these were the little demon talismans put around to be like a containment zone. In this world, these things, the Duergar have made this ritual where they can make basically a containment field to prescribe against demons. They've been doing all these demon things so they can kind of hold stuff in using these. But what was fun about this thing, so they could summon a thing here and kind of control it and keep it in there and then try and soul jar it into a thing. But what's fun about this is I love this build piece. So this is I don't know if you can even see. Can you see under there what it is? This is the tomato soup or the squash soup. Then one of those floors inverted on top of the, our big, the big ancient pillars. I inverted that thing on the ancient pillars and then put this on top because it just felt like, I mean, you can see it under there. Well, it felt like this just really kind of cool, weird architecture and heavy and, I don't know. Once again, completely unnecessary. But it was going for feel, right? I was trying to have it feel. Oh man, hold on. I dropped the door. I'm going dark.
Oh no.
Go overhead. I had a. What did I just do? I turned out all the lights to get moody, and now I can't see anything. All right, there we go. Put that guy in there. Please stand by. And if I'm missing any details, please tell me. We can go back and. I mean, generally, the moral of the story is like you just kind of hodgepodge a bunch of stuff from a bunch of sets until you get something that looks fun. But, oh yeah, you can see while we're in the overhead, you can see that diagonal more clearly from the overhead. It's a fun run.
Do you know off the top of your head if the dais platforms are taller than regular floor tiles?
They are, yes. They are slightly different height than 2 stacked floor tiles. They are like a floor and 3/4 high.
Okay, so they'll be smaller than 2 floors.
They're slightly smaller than 2 floors, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, they're a weird, awkward height. All right, so other fun. This
what are those red? Merc wants to know what the red and black pieces on the bottom right are.
Oh, we'll get there, Merc. Pump the brakes.
Right.
He's going for the good stuff. He's going. This is that original KS1 floor. I liked it because it felt like an industrial grate. Just threw it over there. I didn't even put anything under it. Like I just suspended it on 2 4 ones, and also, of course, put the vault doors on there, so it felt like big, heavy factory doors. All right, so we looked at that. We looked at this thing. We got another bridge. Try to get, once again, a fun area you could zip under and hide under there or jump around or whatever. Because the theory was, I thought as it was going, I thought the Warforged Titan was going to be chasing them around, and turns out they were just chasing him around. He just absolutely nuked this thing. So I thought they might want to have a place to get cover. There's a lot of Hellscape accessories in here because they were doing demonic stuff, so pop those These were again also I think in the Devil's Doorstep or one of the I don't know one of the Hellscape things. We had a bunch of these extra. These were the toppers on the Hellgate, and they just look cool everywhere. So I put those on the bridge and in both places. Here more of these Hellfire furnaces, and then I don't know if you can see them back there. I put more of the Greek fire projectors and sort of sideways, so they just look like cool tubes under there, trying to get industrial. And then once again, more levers, just random levers that people could pull, and then ramps. That was a fun. Oh, that was a kind of fun thing. This is the bridge. The bridge extension. I made this platform using the bridge extension. Oh, I missed it. Bridge extension, the arch, and then more bridge extension, so I could have those little nooks under there to put in the Greek fire projectors to make it feel like tubes, and there's like machinery and whatnot under there. Just repurposing the same stuff in a bunch of different ways. Just the ramps and elevation blocks all around. Once again, no real reason for this other than make it more interesting and kind of different heights, so they could maybe have advantage if they could jump up on the thing and do whatnot and make it dynamic. Door here, use that cool warded door because it looks cooler. And have guys come in there, and then this was the area where they were working on the Warforged. So this was disappointing because I couldn't find them. So the idea here was, this is for you, Merc. So these are pits with a terrain tray underneath with a light with lava and arches, and then I took these are the portcullises from Hellscape. I put over it. I wanted to use the regular castle portcullises, but I could only find one. I don't know where all my portcullises are. I've hidden them somewhere because it looked way more industrial with like the clean grating. That was what I was trying to do, was like these grates with like the glowing thing under there that just looked dark. And then of course if the players wanted to like smash something through or drop somebody in there or whatever, it was going to be another fun area you could interact with the environment. But so I had to do the Hellscape ones because I couldn't find my other portcullises. Doesn't it feel like portcullises should be a different, or the plural should be something different? Then we got this WizKids Golem there to flesh it out, and I think that's it. And then this was for another. I had another step down, couple of step downs of the terrain here, just for once again, just I don't know, just some visual variety, because it was so much like paved flat area. I just wanted to kind of break it up in a couple of places to make it feel more lively. So I put an extra. You see, there's extra stilts. I turned all the lights off. Huh. So I put an extra layer of stilts under there, and then this one has the regular amounts. There was that that one extra 12 millimeter stilt to bring these two terrain trays are at full 50 millimeters, and then with floors on top. These ones they're built. They one elevation box 38 millimeters, and then built on. So you can sort of see if you do breakaway. Just for visual variety as you're looking through it. So I think that's it on the on this thing. Are there other questions? Let's go back to the overhead.
Let's see.
Any other techniques?
Merc says they were just looking at the Hellgate set earlier today. Guess that'll be a buy.
It's got so many useful. You just even the pole accessories that come with it and stuff are just awesome. The grate, the floor, the pole accessories, the little gargoyles, all those bits are useful.
Frida the Pita says, Nate's build right here is like the sheet music I used to play in college that would just say "with feeling" as the directions.
Well, isn't that what you're trying to accomplish, right? The whole, half the reason for the build is tactical, right? So that your players and you can use the terrain as an interesting, exciting thing. But also it's like you're trying to immerse them in the thing, right? You're trying to create the feeling. You're trying to have them feel like they're in this hot place or cluster or whatever. You're trying to the tight claustrophobic tunnels or whatever it is. You're going for feel. At least I am. Like you want to make them have the build help them feel like their character should feel, or like the adventure should feel, or whatever. So yes, feeling is a driver. Even when it's supposed to feel like this is clean and hard lines, and I don't know, it's not maybe the most like they're Durgar, they're hard and cold and so on, but I guess that's still a feeling. Yeah. What else? Any other questions on how some of this stuff pull off?
Uh,
It's not a wildly like there's. It's basically just a whole bunch of dungeon pieces, some dungeon elevation, and then a bunch of little bits and bobs from random sets. But fundamentally, you
yeah.
do the. Oh boy, I've got a puddle.
I think a lot of the I think all the questions got answered.
Woo!
So we went through pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Let's see. Man, I really do like that the pumpkin soup cheese fountain thing.
Yeah. It's
It's a fun piece.
there were some neat there's some neat resin. There are definitely some neat resin bits that was really some fun. You know what it was is the freedom resin. There was a lot of freedom to do some really weirdly specific pieces because the molds cost basically nothing, so you could just kind of do anything. There was a lot. I don't know. You could do more. Like we have to really think about it when we're making a piece now, because it's thousands of dollars to make the mold, and then you got to do a print run of thousands. It's just like it's harder to do cool, weird, specific stuff like that.
We've also gotten we've also gotten so much more what's the word? Intricate in terms of like the way that all these things work together, and
Yeah.
it feels like there's a lot of
Over
knock-on effects with anything we make.
over ambitious.
Yeah. That's what, yeah,
Yeah,
like a
look at
turtle that's outgrown its aquarium
that.
or terrarium. Wait, do turtles live in aquariums or terrarium? They have water and dirt in there, don't they?
Yeah, it depends. Well, wait, that's the difference between a turtle and a tortoise, I think, right? That's the,
Yeah, that's it.
is that
Right. Turtles are in the water, tortoises are sand or vice versa.
land.
Land.
Look at that. That's even cooler with Moody.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It's kind of when I run it, I try and make it moody, right? Once again, feel right. There's a lot of trying to do the light, throw a red gel on the thing, throw a yellow gel. Ooh, what's on fire?
God, I want us to run games again.
It's so. I'll tell you, Vorpal board has saved my life. Like being able to run remote games with terrain, and like so easily. It's really it's all I got, right? There's no damn in person right now for me at least.
Yeah, yeah.
Just trying to make a
Are you,
fire light.
are you just trying to set up like a nice picture or something?
No, it's just I don't know, just getting moody with the firelight. And it doesn't really read on camera so much. Ooh,
Yeah.
look at me.
Oh, really just need to get the Doom Bridge. I really like the Dungeon Bridge.
Dungeon Bridge is awesome.
Yeah.
That thing. I mean, don't I say that about all of our pieces though? But that one's a particularly like this is a that geometry is very pleasing. You can customize it with these. You know what? You know the it's kind of good that they didn't do it. So it's a fun fact about the bridge. Holy moly! Can you see? There's a chunk missing out of the side of the bridge here, right? It's like deliberate distressing. There was Nina sculpted like a fallen stone around the base of it, like there was a little chunk here, and they removed it at the factory because they thought it was a mistake, and we didn't catch it until after the mold was done. It was gone, but it had like for the verisimilitude, it was like that perfect little puddle. But I'm kind of glad they removed it because it looks weird if you do any sort of thing where you suspend it, like if it's not on flat ground or whatever, then there was like this weird floating rock. But I don't know. We'll never know because they cleaned up that clear mistake of the fallen thing. Similar to like when the eggs went missing out of the Elder Earth Elemental and all sorts of fun little things lost along the way over the years. What else? Any other questions? Any other thoughts?
Yeah. Either about the build or other things. Is there anything else we should cover tonight?
Yeah. Or should we call
So
it night?
we tried to cover so many things tonight.
So, well, we can always go early so you can go to sleep.
No. So what's up with the Amazon shop?
Oh man, we got kicked off Amazon for being. Yeah, we got kicked off Amazon.
For what?
There was some automated thing, 5 orders there was something where Shopify wasn't registering the orders, and we got kicked off. So Shopify like put us as negligent because we weren't shipping orders. So even though Jay caught it within 3 days or something and put them through manually and got them shipped out and whatever, but like, yeah, it was literally 5 orders or something. And then they're like, well, they what are you doing to remediate this, thing, whatever. And it was a whole back and forth, and it's like some weird bureaucracy and whatever. But and then he did all this stuff in this long report, and I don't know, all this nonsense. And then they said, okay, yeah, you're reinstated, but it like there was like a glitch and they couldn't reinstate it, and then no thing, and eventually he just sort of gave up after like hours and months of nonsense and whatever. And then they said, well, now you're whatever, and now your privileges for selling are revoked or something. And like it was wild. It was like he should tell you the story, because it went on for months of like trying to get. He was like, he explained the problem to them. He's like, listen, we fixed it. We've something. They're like, well, have you hired new people to deal? Like they were. It was like this whole. It was crazy. It was not designed for small businesses. What they were asking for. They wanted like an MBA style report on all this stuff. He's like, listen, it was like one glitch in the thing. We fixed it. I don't understand why. Like we've had a perfect track record all this time. We have all this like whatever, and it's. So yeah, we're persona non grata to Amazon.
Yo, this like makes us rebels.
Yeah, but also we don't make any money on Amazon. Like we literally, we lose. They take essentially all of our profit gets eaten by Amazon. Like there's no, like
Yeah.
we make $1 a set or something when we sell it on Amazon.
Yeah, the only upshot to Amazon is just like people coming across us who wouldn't have
Yes.
found us otherwise.
Yes.
But yeah,
Yeah. No, it's really it's real pain.
yeah, yeah. Everyone's asking like, why would we even use Amazon? It's like it's because everybody uses
Exposure.
Amazon, so
Yeah.
it's possible that people would find us through it. Is really the only reason. Um, yeah. Benefit is using all those Amazon gift cards on Dwarven Forge.
There you go.
That's also fair.
Fair.
I used to get paid in Amazon gift cards, so
Really?
not. there was somebody I did a gig for at one point who put off paying people for a while and then just sent us like Amazon gift cards.
Wait until they get Amazon gift cards for Christmas and then pass them on to the the crew.
I don't entirely know what it was. It wasn't like a lot.
That's
Like
like
it was literally just like $100 day. So it wasn't a
That's
huge deal. It was just like
funny.
really light crew work on a really like low key thing, and then he just kind of ghosted. It was a small. It was like 4 or 5 of us, and he just kind of like ghosted us for a couple months,
That's
and
funny.
and then somebody kept pushing him on it. Most people didn't really care because like it wasn't a lot of money, but it was very funny. Eventually, he just sent everybody Amazon gift cards.
Yeah, at least you got paid.
Yeah,
What else should I have tried in this build? I mean, I ran out of time, but
I kind of feel like you went over the top here. I don't know. Uh, you could have. Ooh, you could have done something with manacles, either the pull accessory or the
mm,
magnets.
yes, they were all the slave pens were in a different part, but yeah, because they were breaking people's. I could have had the last Myconid. They chained up and they were
I
about to take.
I just have to say this. You brought up that you hate Myconids, and I just want to say yes, I know because it screwed us over hard when we were doing a game for Lillard.
Because we had no minis.
Because Matt Lillard was DMing his first like D&D game in public, and it was going to be for Lost Odyssey. It was a Halloween game,
All he wanted were
and
Myconids, lots of them.
yeah,
It's like
yeah,
no.
and I was like, yeah, I'll produce it for you, absolutely. And so we were producing it and stuff. And it's just like, yeah, I just need like a bunch of Myconids. And I was like, cool. Do we have any Myconids? And Nate's
No,
like, no,
no.
I hate Myconids.
'Cause,
And so we had to like scramble to try and find them. And the GameStop, or not GameStop, but the game shop nearby didn't have any. And it was just this massive scramble to try and get a bunch.
Well, and that was when the Myconid genocide began, and
Well, that was when I realized I needed to just start getting a bunch of minis so that we wouldn't be short on anything whenever we needed to produce a game.
specifically Myconids.
Yeah, I've got a couple of Myconids done. I've got a
Mm.
bunch more coming from Broken Anvil
Oh, you love
when
those
they get their
guys.
stuff done. They
Eh?
have really cool looking Myconids. I love their Myconids. But yeah. LED torches in the back corner.
Yeah,
Digital engineer
I
stuff.
did. That's a really. I did not. I, the whole the back line could have used some spice. Agree.
Could
Hard
use a
agree.
sculpted lava fall or river into the lava floor.
I thought about doing some hellscape, like the magma rivers through the thing, and it was going to be too much work. It was faster to do the negative space and just fill it with fog.
Yeah.
And it got me more depth. But yeah, I did think about like the channel of magma river going like right through the thing. Maybe they'll, they're not done with this Drugar, so who knows? That's we'll have to get to that one. That's a good.
Uh,
Cause it just looks good, though, especially when you put it in. Like if I'd done the channel like a recessed channel with the lava rivers in it, it would look really. The magma rivers would look really cool. But then I'd have to also then underlight it like um with the it was I was trying to jam this out in like an hour. It was ended
that
up
was an
being
hour build.
no, it took probably 4, but I was like that was what I
Okay.
told myself. I was like I'm just gonna jam something out quick in an hour because they're gonna want to fight this guy. I was like this is like there's no way like in my mind I was like maybe it'll be I'm like no they've been chasing this guy forever. They're gonna want to fight this guy. This is gonna like it's gonna go down. They're gonna and sure enough there was no role play. They just went in like guns blazing. Uh, so so but I was like oh but I was like well it's 10 o'clock at night. I better just jam something out quick because it says in the morning and yeah.
It is just very satisfying to be at a point where you can like say, yeah, you know what, my character wouldn't let the villain monologue right now, and just like in the middle of them talking, you just Eldritch
Oh
Blast
yeah oh,
like that.
it is awesome.
I did that to Tyler uh, a couple months ago. Like literally like this villain that we'd spent like 30 episodes like building up to knocks us unconscious, takes us to the Shadowfell. Uh, we wake up, she starts monologuing at us, and I'm just like, hey, how far away is she? And he's like, oh, probably 60 feet. I'm like, cool. I'm just gonna
Perfect.
Eldritch Blast. like, like
Well,
I'm
it's
not gonna.
and it's fun to be able to let the players shatter the monologue. Like that's a
Yeah.
let them have their moment to just you know
Like, yeah,
do that.
we were at a point where it's just like, I don't want to listen to you. Like, I
Yeah,
don't care what you have to say. Like, what? What?
30 episodes, time to die.
Yeah.
Like yeah, no, it's that's very it's that's the thing about D&D, right? Follow what's gonna be fun for the players.
Yeah.
Like that.
There were villains that we'd listened to and stuff before, but with that one, I was just like, no, I don't want to give this person time.
And if
Um,
there was important info that she was supposed to deliver in that monologue, you give it to her second in command. I
yeah.
can't believe you killed the commander before she was able to tell you about this important narrative element. Well, I will tell you this. Know this.
Merck's saying that's when the GM monologues during their turn because talking is a free action.
Totally.
It's like, oh, so within 6 seconds they delivered this
Yeah.
20 paragraph manifesto.
It's a soliloquy. It really.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
agree with Merc.
my favorite villain monologues are when the players get halfway through and think maybe they are the baddies.
Yes.
Um,
Are we the baddies?
Flipadex is wondering how Container 2 is going. It is at the warehouse,
It's moving.
and they are they're going to check it tomorrow and make sure it's
No,
all good.
that's 3. They're checking
That's
3.
three.
Yeah, we
Oh,
two is basically more of one. Like 2, we got 2 is should be processing. I mean, obviously not
okay.
quickly because I don't have my Forest Mega yet, but it's moving.
Okay, so 2 should be shipping out any moment.
Yeah, and some of it's already gone out, and it's basically a lot more of the first. Although maybe some of those will then get bundled up with stuff in 3. I don't know, but it's there. It's moving. It's all cooking.
Awesome. And then Container 3, Eric and Tyler are going and checking out tomorrow. to make sure everything is good, and then they're gonna clear it so they can start getting that ready to ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
I am
Oh,
pouring water onto the
yeah.
floor here.
You dripping?
Well, the my workbench is ever so slightly tilted forward versus the makeshift table that I use. I don't.
Can't wait for
I
you to be in an attic so that you're causing water damage above like your bedroom.
well normally I have I just use these trays on a like a shelf that has a bunch of duct tape on it as my game table, and that is I guess tilted ever so slightly back so the water just pools in the back of the tray and is contained there. But here I'm tilted ever so slightly forward so it's pouring out onto the floor. Yeah, I'm
Oh well.
excited for to water damage my attic. It's gonna be really it's gonna be lively. So
It's just all the dwarvenite on top of it, adding pressure.
yeah, it's so far nothing no damage. And I've drenched tons of terrain trays without having any ill side effects. I've run a lot of fog, and so far so good. All right, let's get out of here. If
Yeah.
there's no more questions,
Yeah.
let's call it. How do I
Let's call it.
What do we get?
How do you turn it off?
Oh, I should make sure. Oh, do our also pitch dark maybe. Oh no, look, I got firelight now. So I guess
Nice.
you're turned around
That's
sideways.
that's a mood.
Feeling. Yeah.
It's a
Enjoying
feeling you get.
it.
Let's see. I can keep the sci-fi questions going if you need more time.
Yeah.
Merc was asking for sci-fi beans earlier, like, oh, they're going to be like fancy pieces and stuff. It's like, well, we don't really know yet.
Yes.
I'm sure that we're going to do like at least some like cool accessory stuff instead of just completely plain floors and walls, but it's very
It'd
early.
be a couple. It's
Yeah.
going to be mostly focused on creating a versatile toolbox, um, to like make you build a bunch of stuff. But yes,
Oh,
we talked about
oh,
lasers and solenoids and all sorts of reed switches and really, and then we said, well, maybe we'll just start simple and we go from there.
apparently, Yak has been painting the passages and only has 20 left.
What? That's
Yeah.
impressive. I mean, that was like I don't know, it was a 20-pound box of passages. That's really impressive. Makes me
Start the
happy.
build of the month again. Give us a couple months.
It's gonna be something new.
It's not good. Yeah, it's build of the month is coming back, but it's not going to be build of the month. It's we think we're making some improvements.
The bundle of the restock.
Bundle of the restock.
Doesn't have quite the
Kind of.
same ring.
Do we want to just talk about it, or
Yeah,
do we want to keep
yeah.
it in pocket?
No, I mean that was it. I just the bundle of the restock.
Okay. Basic idea, those style things going forward is instead of being build of the month, we're going to rename it to something else that isn't as time sensitive for a couple reasons. One, taking it off of a this has to be done by this day every month kind of schedule will help us handle changing circumstances throughout the year instead of having to crunch to get a thing out that really shouldn't be time sensitive. And two, it kind of sucks that that bundle goes away after a month. And
Or
so what we
3 weeks,
do,
or whatever. Like if we
yeah.
didn't get it up on.
So what we want to do is we want to do these and still have the videos like feel like a lot of the same thing, but the bundles will be permanent. And for the first month, we'll
What?
have maybe like the gift card will only apply for the first month, basically. Uh, and this is all stuff that we are developing, might change. But this current idea is we want these bundles to actually just be like good examples of starter sets that new people can come in and be able to pick instead of it just being a thing that's only there for a month.
Well, permanent's a tough word because stuff will sell out. But they'll when we have the
When we have
component
the
sets
stock
in
for it.
stock, the idea is they'll be evergreen, and we'll do them around restocks. So we'll be targeting stuff that we know, like, okay, here's a big bundle of fresh batches of stuff is coming. We're gonna try and use a bunch of the sets in this restock. So it's like we have a good quantity of that stuff, and those bundles could last for 3 months, 6 months, a year, 3 weeks. I don't know. We'll see.
And then the dream is going to be that along with like the more narrative direction we were taking with build of the month near the end, we want to keep doing that because it's a lot of fun. But we were also thinking on the day that the video and the bundle drops, maybe we also do a live game actually playing
Woo!
through it. We can bring some guests in and stuff like that. We can do some world building, uh, and yeah, just make like more of a fun little event out of it.
Well, and do
Um,
a couple. The idea was to maybe do a couple of bundles, right? So it's
yeah,
we do it. So instead of it happening every month, it's maybe every quarter whenever a restock is showing up, and we do a couple of bundles, 1, 2, 3 bundles, maybe 4 if it's a big ass. I don't know. Well, whatever sort of makes sense with what's coming in. But have them have them clustered around a restock when we know we'll have a bunch of those sets in stock. Because sometimes the bill of the month we would like. One of the sets would only have 15 left in stock, and then the thing is gone, and then you don't get your chance to get it and whatever and stuff. So we'll do them around sets that we have a bunch of stock around a restock a couple of times a year. Have a fun batch of bundles with a little story. Do a build guide. Do whatever. Show you how the thing goes together. But not.
yeah,
It won't be monthly. That's the current plan. We'll see what it evolves into, but that's what we're
and
working.
yeah, like these are all discussions for a video team. Like we had a lot of stuff we wanted to do for a while, and we all just got back this week. We're talking about it. That this is one of the things. So it might change as we develop and work out like what's feasible, but that's the idea.
Yes, and we're trying to balance doing this sort of stuff while also developing the next Kickstarter / SciFi / whatever else / the endless juggle. Small company, right? We're still less than 20 people. Like it's.
But basically, what we want to do is have the first one of these videos, this new iteration of Build a Month, come out February, March-ish when those restocks hit.
Quarantine being one of the things that might
affect quarantine. Us going back into work from home might complicate that. We'll see what happens.
Well, if that March one comes in like March 31st, that's a little easier. I'm dripping again.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. But it's what we want to do. So.
Yeah. All right. Well, speaking of what we want to do, is we want to hang out with you again next week. Yes. Same bat time, same bat channel. We'll be here next week. We don't know what our topic is next week, but at some point we're going to settle in to have some topics and be able to tell you in advance, which would be a really nice calendar.
I mean, it's the first week back, so it's just been a lot of meetings of figuring out what everything's going to be. Yes. So we'll be getting our stuff together.
And Hobby Hang tomorrow night?
Yeah, Hobby Hang tomorrow night.
And I don't know what else is that. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for congrats on who won Wilderness Encounter. Won the gift card.
Wilderness Encounter.
Cool. Well, it's good to be back. And we're we're going to, as we get closer towards launch of the next Kickstarter cities, we're going to get some background on some of the workbench episodes of showing what we're working on, mocking some stuff up, playing. We're going to start showcasing some of that stuff when we have stuff to show.
I think especially the fact that we're going to be developing 2 projects simultaneously means we can be alternating between cities and sci-fi every now and then.
There's not going to be much to show in sci-fi for a while. Like I don't think we'll actually start sculpting.
When we get to it, though.
We won't. We probably won't start sculpting that for real until we're pencils down in cities. So the idea is the dream is that we can be as soon as we're in Kickstarter mode in cities, the sculpt team is working on the next thing. So then we get off cities like that. There's a whole bunch of progress in that. We can get ready to launch that thing, and then sort of dovetail these events so we can up our output. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll hopefully have all the basic sci-fi dev done so we can be sculpting that like a second cities pencils down, boom, into the future. All right. And on that note, let's go into the future. Thank you. Have a good night. Be
safe. Night, everybody.
Bye. How do I stop?